Incredible afternoon. Incredible afternoon, everyone. Hello, hello, hello.
Hi. Amen.
Say hi.
Hi.
You gotta sit up like this so they can see you.
Hi.
Okay.
Yes.
There's no more pop.
Oh, no in here.
Yeah, no more pop. No more in there. You ate it all. Yeah, you ate it all. Okay, go out. Mommy gotta do video, okay? Aw, man. Okay. Let me kiss you. Go bye-bye. Let me kiss you.
No.
What you say no? What are you doing?
Fair.
Huh?
No.
Okay. Well, then you just sit there then. You short. You're not tall enough. Yes. And I can't hold you up.
Hi.
All right, ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
I got you.
You got me? You always gonna do scissors. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
I got that.
Nope. Rock beats scissors. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. All you ever do is darn scissors. Scissors, shoot. I can always beat you. Rock, beat scissors. Okay.
Ma.
Yes.
Look.
Look what?
Wow.
Wow.
Ma.
Oh, you want to show it to them? Okay, here, take the mouse. Go right here. Share screen. Share. Click on this one. Go click it.
Ma.
Huh?
I did.
Yeah, you did it. Hold on, wait.
Where?
Okay, now you got to put like this. See, there it goes. See, now they can see it.
Wow.
Wow.
Ma.
Yes.
Ma.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Take out the wood head.
Yeah.
The wood head.
The one head, uh-huh.
The wood
Yeah.
head. The wood head, baby.
Yeah, baby. She not no baby. That's twin, but she not no baby.
The wood baby.
Okay.
Ready to be.
Okay.
Oh.
All right. Come on, mommy got work.
No.
What do you mean no?
I can't know.
What are you doing?
Okay. I see.
Oh, you want, okay, sit right here and they can see you. Sit right here.
Hi.
Oh, wait, hold on. Let me pull the chair up. We're both low. Boom, there we go.
Hi. 2 feet, another 2 feet, 4.
Mm-hmm.
Make 2 feet, 4.
Yeah.
And make a guy 2 feet, 4.
Say H.
A.
S.
Not I.
Ink.
8.
3.
3.
6.
6.
5.
9. 5.
Yeah, not 9. 5.
2.
Yeah, 5. 3.
2.
6.
6.
5.
5. 6.
Mm-hmm.
5.
Mm-hmm.
6. 5.
5.
Yay!
Yay!
2.
Two.
How? 2.
Okay, if you want them to see you, you have to sit up here.
Okay.
If you sit on mommy's lap, they're not going to see you.
How?
Okay, can you shh for 1 second and mommy do her intro?
No.
What you mean no?
Because no.
Even this crazy hair. All right. Hello, everyone.
Bye.
You say hello, everyone. Say incredible afternoon. Good job. Say Shakia, the professor. That's the only time you can call me Shakia. Other than that, what's my name?
Mom.
Mom. Yes.
What a?
Your name? Zain Imani.
Mom, who's that?
Who's that? Amazon. Amazon always at our house.
Yay.
Yay. There's nothing for you.
Ma.
Yes.
No,
not open the door. Daddy will open the door. You gonna open the door? Okay, go to Daddy. Tell him open the door. He'll be back. Hello, everyone. Incredible afternoon. I am Shakia, the professor, and that was my co-host, Zion Imani. He moves my whole train of thought. I forgot what I was about to say. We are the owners of HS Inc. 365 LLC, the parent company of Sillaholics Anonymous, on the Honestly Speaking brand, and 365 Creative Academy, where I teach you to unlock your creativity in a wide variety of things, such as learning Silhouette Studio, sublimation, print and cut. At some point here, I'll do more with my role in eco-solvent prints and stuff like that. I actually just had someone pick up an order for some blown up prints, and I will say that although the roll is good, I cannot wait to get like an actual print shop, because I want a 64-inch printer for like the bigger prints, because they really did want the print to be a little bit bigger, but the roller only prints 18.9 inches wide. So I'll do more on, I'll end up doing more with like the rolling and some other things. Y'all know I do party favors. That was always like what I started with. Cheer season's coming up, so I'm hoping to get back into cheer bows this season.
Ma.
Yes, my love.
Ma.
Yes, my love. So now you're back. Okay. You strong. Okay. All right, want to pull this one down?
I sit right here.
You sit right here? Okay. Sit right here. Okay. But yes, I plan on teaching, different things and showing that from our 365 Creative Academy platforms.
Ma.
Right. So today, yes, my love.
It's your.
Yes, it's a shirt. Okay.
Let's see.
You want to see? Okay. Papa, can I do my intro? Okay. What shirt you want to see?
Over here.
This one?
I did.
Okay. I'll let them see the shirt. Okay.
Okay.
Yes. Mommy made that for Flock.
Ma.
Yes.
I took that.
Yeah. That's a shirt for babies. Yes.
Ma.
Yes.
A two.
Yes.
A baby.
Yes, for baby.
Ma.
Huh.
It's too short.
Yes. Okay. I am on this again part of my therapy, because I'll probably be in real therapy next week or the week after that. But I am here just to answer any questions that you guys have. You guys know this is my passion. I love being able to help answer questions that you guys have. I know that, sometimes the same questions come up, and I am perfectly okay with that. All right, Papa. So this is going to be basically just live with the Professor Saturday edition, being able to answer any questions that you guys have about design, or like a project that you might be interested in. You just want some information on it and some direction that will help you do more research. Because a lot of the times you'll see stuff and you may not get into it. You may not do it because you don't know the proper steps. So you don't know like what it's going to take to do it. Hi, guys. What it's going to take to kind of like get into it. So that's what I'm here for. So if you have any questions for me, it's an open Q&A. Hopefully someone will get bored and go bye-bye. It's cute for a moment, and then it starts to get very annoying, even as his mother starts to get annoying, because he wants to touch on everything. But yeah, the more questions you guys ask, the better the session is. I do plan to go over a little bit more when some people have inboxed me and sent messages that they were still having trouble understanding like how to do in like, I guess getting it to crop for like the tumblers and stuff like that with the pictures of the bags. So we're going to go through that. I'm not sure, maybe they just didn't have high resolution images of the bags that they were trying to use. So I'm going to try and look at like other bags and like other sites to see if that helps. So we're going to go over that. And then I'll probably talk a little bit also at some point, depending on how many questions you guys have, just reiterating about printers and the differences in them and the differences in inks. So we'll probably talk about, so this is like really an open session. These type of sessions, hey, you catch the information where you can. It's not structured. I only structure classes. Okay, I love you, Papa, but you got to go. Okay, give me a kiss. Okay, go out there with your brother. Thank you.
Okay.
Can I need my shield. Thank you.
No.
Okay, don't break that. Bye. Close the door. He made me hold your thought again. What was I saying? Oh, but depending on how many questions you guys have, I plan to throw that stuff in there as well because those are common questions that I get. But this is an open Q&A, so feel free to post your questions. All right. So, let's see. I have one about Shopify. Do you have a recommendation on someone that could set it up for me? Okay. Here's the thing when it comes to Shopify, and like as far as someone setting up for you, it's really, really easy and really simple to set up Shopify. What's going to be the hardest part is something that no matter, even if someone does it, they can only do so much with what you provide them, right? So I have a Shopify course. It breaks everything down for you. You're going to have to sit down and make your template. Make your descriptions, know what titles you want to use, already have your pictures ready so that they can be cropped and sized down to the correct size. That's going to be the most important part is the descriptions, the images. Shopify, like they'll have things for like pictures, but it's not like, okay, well, this is the listing. And once you put your picture in, it's going to snap to like this size. That's not how it is. If you bring in a really large picture that's like landscape or like, and like one picture is landscape, the other one's portrait, one is square, it's going to keep flipping to all of those different orientations. So the best thing to do is no matter how many different angles you take of your pictures, you want to go into a program. You can even do it from Silhouette Studio Business Edition and crop them down all to the same size template and then save them as JPEGs. That way you can easily upload it. It's a lot. I don't know. Because I set them up myself. That's one of the things that, because I don't take on a lot of clients, I probably really need to look into some people who set it up so that I can give referrals. A lot of times I have clients that I set them up for, but I always say, I'm not here to build it and figure out your descriptions, figure out your titles, because I don't know how you want your SEO, because you have to be able to maintain it. You have to understand how to do all of those things, how to work your Shopify after I'm done setting it up. So if you want to do a consultation just to know all the things that you need, and maybe I could then direct you to someone that can, or you can end up booking for me to be able to set it up. But again, all I do is go in and set it up. And you'll find that even if someone sets it up for you, you're going to want to move things around. So it's important for you to know how to operate Shopify yourself. And that's where my course comes in. I go through everything, showing you about like the discounts. And I'm going to end up doing a new one because there are some new things with Shopify. Like now they have their own segmentation. You can do flows in Shopify. They're changing the way like the discount codes are. So I will be doing, once I'm able to structure classes back again, I plan to go over some of the new stuff because it says summer 2022. So they're unleashing a lot of new things. Like Shopify is really stepping up their game. You're able to do, like, they're going to have options where people can do pre-orders. You don't have to do it through like a third-party app. So a lot is coming. So I will have an updated class for Shopify. How to design with alphabet clip arts. What do you mean how to design with alphabet clip arts? I'm not quite sure. Are you trying to say like how to arrange them? I have a Workforce 7310 and your Pigment ink. Which refillable cartridges do I need, or chips? So it's the if you already have the Pigment ink with the 7310, it is the 812s, and you're gonna have to buy cartridges and chips. All of the new printers, you are required to replace. You're required to replace the chips. That's like replacing a cartridge. So just like traditionally, cartridge-based printers, you use them. Once the color goes out, you take it out, you put a new cartridge in. It's that same concept, except it's by the chip. So you have the refillable cartridge, and once it goes out and it says that it's finished, it says cartridge not recognized, you take the old chip off, you put a new chip on, and of course, top it off with ink. That's the equivalent of changing out the cartridge. So you will need both. You're going to have to continually buy chips. They are $60 a set on our website, and they are the XL rated size. Excel rated Epson cartridges. So if you were to buy Pigment ink, like the actual cartridges from Epson, and you wanted the Excel versions of them, you're going to pay about $130. But you can get the chips for a full set for $60, and you can buy individual colors for $17, I think it is. So we're going to go search 812. So this was the kit. Well, if you already have the ink, you don't need the ink if you already have a set. But for the cartridges, you're going to come to here. And it's $75. It comes with the first set of chips on it. Make sure that you use the Epson ink. The Epson ink is Pigment ink. The Epson ink is Pigment ink. Use that. Now, the black ink sucks. You might want to go straight to, well, start with it to set it up and then switch to our ink, because their ink smears and scratches off on glossy stuff. So the black ink, not so great, but the rest of them, definitely use them until they run out, because it is Pigment ink, which is why this says cost effective, because you'll pay $130 for their XLs or $60 for ours. Have you used sublimation patches with a cap press? I have some of the patches. I haven't figured out like what to put on it yet, but I do have some sublimation patches. I just have not used them yet. Afternoon. The bachelor's course is not available anymore. It was shut down December because you would end up being too far behind. So that is not available anymore. My Shopify class is on all my classes are on my website. So if you ever have a question about any of my classes, everything is on my website. Click where it says classes and playbacks, and you're going to find every class that is available. I still don't understand what you mean in designs. I mean, if it's just a clip art, all you're going to do is just arrange it. So let's say if I come over to silhouette. So if it's letters, I'm just going to type out HS Ink 365. So technically, when you get those files, I'm just going to make this, let's say, this color, and I'm going to ungroup it. So it might come with, I'm not sure which ones you're using. If it's just standard ones, if it's layered and it has different pieces to it, you're going to have to ungroup, change whatever colors. But technically they come like this, right? So all you would have to do is you're going to take it, and I always recommend that you duplicate it. So let's just say I duplicate this. I'm going to make sure that I'm going to just take these and move them around. Okay. And then let's say I want to click on this and I want to change the color. And then now I need to align them. So you're just going to select them all. You're going to go to your alignment tool, center them. All right. You want to space it. So let's say we kind of pull this here. We're going to align that again. We might space it this way. We might bring this over some, space that out, and group it. Center those. So you'll just move them around and do like grouping and stuff like that. And so now we have, oops, I didn't group that together. So let's undo. So let's group this. If you're going to add a pattern to it, you would add your pattern or whatever. And then, maybe you want to have them spaced, or all three groups, you're going to space that, and then you can group it together, whatever. So all you're doing with those files, you're just taking it and moving it. If it has layers to it, you're going to work on each letter at a time to change the colors of it, and then group it back together. And then you're just using your alignment tool to arrange it however you want. I mean, they are fonts. You just can't type them out. You move them around as if you would move around a JPEG. Essentially, they are like, they're not a JPEG if they're like an SVG, but essentially you just move them around and space them and group them. But it's not like a font. because you can't type it out. They're already like ours. We have one, and I just give you the letters, and then you're able to change them out, change the highlights, change the shadows, and things like that. Can you take your printer back to Pigment ink? Yes. I don't recommend going like trying to go back and forth, back and forth. You cannot just like take one set of cartridges out, put the next one in, take it out, put it in, because every time, like, Sublimation ink is very aggressive. So when if you just try and put the Pigment ink in there, it's still really going to be printing out Sublimation ink because it's just all in that print head. But you can go back. You would just get a separate set of cartridges, preferably. I mean, you can get just the tube and push it, but it's better with a set of cartridges. And then you'll fill it with like a cleaning solution, distilled water, alcohol, and a few drops of dish liquid. Or you can buy the actual cleaning solution. You're going to put it in there, push ink, like my push air, same thing, to push all that sub ink out, print a purge file or two if needed. And then you're going to put the pigment ink in, push air to push that pigment ink through the print heads, and you switched it. So it's a really, really easy process. I'm making paper flowers and trying to put a basic 2.5 slit in the middle of the bottom of the flower. Is there a way to do this? Of course there is. So you're just going to measure it. Let's say I'm going to grab this one. I'm going to make the shape, and so I'm going to pull this in like this, and I'm going to convert to path, and then delete all of these other points. So you may have a petal that looks like this, right? So all you're going to do is come over here to the line tool. You're going to make a line. And I mean, not sure how big yours is, so I'm going to make this a little bit bigger because that's 4 inches. 2.5 inches seems like a lot. So you'll click on it, and then for the height, you'll make it 2.5. And then we're going to select both. You're going to center it and then align it to the bottom. And your split is there. Let's see, business, HS Ink, digitals. Oh, here it is. Nope, that's the thumbnail. I finally perfected print cut using the Cameo Pro and that big awkward 24 by 24 inch mat. Your 30-day course helped me tremendously. Awesome. I would not, unless I was doing like a really big, I guess maybe if you're using 13 by 19 paper, but unless I was doing like a really big vinyl cut, I would not be using the Pro. That mat is humongous. So let's say I'm going to go back to this one. Let's say it was something like this. This is our font. You have to do it letter by letter. So with this, it's all grouped together. You're going to ungroup and you're going to color it in based off of the colors that you want it to be. You can change your shadow. You can change the back shadow if you want. You can change this part to a different. You can literally change every single part of every part of it, or simply just change. Oh, well, let's first ungroup. And let's say we do, I'm going to do blue. And this I'm going to do like a darker blue. And we're going to leave that just like that. Okay. And And if you want to change like the highlights and stuff, you can. Uh-oh. Oh, come on. Is it on top? Why is the color coming out weird? Maybe it's not. Maybe it's me that chose that darker color. Okay, there it is. Or white. And then you just group it together. Group it together. And then you just move them around and arrange them. You can put them on top, put them behind, send to the front, send to the back. The same way you would do any image. How can you take a number and split it to make it 2 or 3 different colors? Hope that makes sense. Of course it makes sense to me. I know exactly what you mean. You're just going to split it. So let's go back to the other one, my HS ink. Where did I do with that one? So here, we're going to take a box, put it there, select it, go over here to modify and go divide. I like to fill it with color again to make sure that part fills in. Delete, 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 delete. And then you have, so if I wanted this part to be a color, I wanted this part to be another color, and this part to be another color. That's it. However you want the box to go, you place it there and you go divide. I discussed that in my 30-day training as well, because we actually turn it to the side and we do a couple different splits. Oh, but you're in the 30-day. We went through that. So if you go, I just realized that. If you go to day, what is that? The divide tool. We went over that in, what day was that? Hold on. That would be, so to see, I know I did that pretty fast, but go back to day 7. And we went over that in the divide class. So go back to day 7 and we went over that. She says, yes, I remember that in the 30-day class. Yeah, day 7 is divide tool. All right. I just realized I forgot to come up here and all right, let me share that out. Where are we? No, I know it wasn't your question. I was just saying that, yes, it was in there. I was just answering the fact that I just showing yours because you said you remember it was in there. I was just reiterating that it was in the course. All right, guys, it's between all the platforms, it's about 52 of you guys watching. Now is your time. Silhouette, business, chip bags, stickers, eco-solvent printing, DTF printing, screen printing, screen print transfers. You guys are able. It's an open Q&A. If it's something that you have thought about, inquired about in your endeavors to build, start, or expand your business, I am a resource for you guys. So when I'm live doing this, because I charge money for my services. I know it might seem like I don't. I'm always on live, but I charge money for my services. When there's structured classes and things. So if I'm doing it like this, definitely take advantage. Oh, wow. It's always so interesting when I go through, and I guess someone didn't like my help. I just noticed I was removed from a group. Oh, wow. I was wondering, it was something I was looking for and I couldn't find it. Oh, wow. I've been removed from a group. All righty. That's interesting. Wow. Um, the pop-up card feature. Do we have to buy more software to use that? No, you don't. I'm not a card person like that, so I don't do much with it, but no, it's included in the program. You don't have to purchase anything else. Anyway, to fade color in Silhouette Studio? No, it's not, because no, you can't, because it's a vector-based program and it doesn't have a like a gradient to go from gradient to no color. So no, you cannot do a fade of any sort in Silhouette Studio. I'm having trouble with my cyan making lines. I've done just about everything: cleaning solution, pushed, prime, push, purge, change back to the original cartridges, and still lines. I believe it's a clog. Which printer are you referring to? And when you do your nozzle check, there are breaks, or you're saying like when you print, and then things like that. I always ask to see the pictures, because some people say, oh yeah, I primed it, and I go and I'm like, there's literally no ink in the center circle, or they're printing with like the plugs switched. So I need a little bit more detail. Which printer you're using? Are you sure that your center circle is filled? But you said you used original cartridge as well, and it's still giving you breaks. I'm doing my first bleach shirt this weekend. So excited. I'd never got into those. I would love to see, once you are done, make sure you post it to the group. I am excited for you as well. But yeah, I've never really got into the bleach shirts. Eco tanks are different, y'all. Eco tanks, the whole maintenance for it, and there's really no way to fix eco tanks, because you can't really get in, especially the bigger ones, because you have to completely disassemble it and take away screws and all that stuff to get in, to try and force air through it and things like that. There isn't really an easy fix for eco tanks, which is why I'm not a big fan of it. Unless like it's something wrong with that particular print head. Even then, if something wrong with it, with a workforce printer, you can easily just buy a new print head, and it's like 2 screws, take it out, put a new one in. But with eco tanks, it's totally different. That's why I'm not an advocate for. I don't push eco tanks at all. Just because you can fill it and you don't have to worry about cartridges, there's so much more to using a printer than just the cartridges that you use. Like, to me, that's a headache to deal with, the clogs, and like it can just literally back up at any point, and then there's nothing you can do. I don't care how many print heads cleanings you do, purge files. I'm so sick of people recommending, oh, do a purge file. Purge files do absolutely nothing when it comes to clearing out a clog. It really does absolutely nothing, because it's still doing a regular print. So it's not forcing enough air and ink through it. If there is like an air clog or if there's a clog in there, it's never going to push enough of it through. So it's just kind of pointless. It drives me nuts when people say just do a purge file. I'm like, whatever. I've been trying to use the warp feature to no avail. Tried to create a template for Dollar Tree acrylic 16-ounce cup, but got nowhere. I entered my size and everything, but no luck each time. What do you mean by no luck each time? You got to tell me what's happening or what's not happening. I have the 7210, and yes, breaks in the nozzle check. Ink is in the circle. Is that one that you had issues with before? Y'all have to remember, these printers do go out. So sometimes you're not going to be able to do anything to fix it other than maybe try and order a new print head. If you've put Epson cartridges in there and it's not clearing up, that particular head just might have gone bad. It's not even a clog, because if you're pushing ink through it, that's going to clear it. Now, if you want, you can try a cleaning solution and put that in there and keep trying to push that through it to push out any clog. But sometimes the print head goes bad. So on every print head, there are little channels like that shoots out the ink. And, you know, the motherboard controls it. So if that one is not triggering to release the ink, there's nothing that you can do. There's no amount of cleaning. There's no amount of push air. You can change out the cartridges, especially if you have put an Epson cartridge in there and it's still doing it. It's probably just that channel is bad, and you'll just have to replace that print head mechanism. If you have a poor resolution image, how easy is it to recreate it? It all depends on what it is. If it is something where you can retype it out, or you may have to manually trace it with like edit points or shapes and stuff like that, it really depends on how it, like what the image is. There's no one way to recreate something. If it is one where there's like shadows and things like that, there's really nothing you can do other than completely like redesign it in a graphic design software. It always turns out too big, too short. So the one thing that you guys have to remember with the warp feature is it is not designed to wrap completely around because it has no overlap. The original purpose of the warp tool was just to get your vinyl in a position where it will wrap around and then be straight. It wasn't really designed for graphics, so it doesn't give you the overlap. I forget off the top of my head. I have a formula somewhere. I want to say you have to add like an inch or maybe like is it 0.1 or is it an inch? But you have to add to it. And how I originally like figured it out is it's called a template maker. It's called a template maker. If you go in there and you put the measurements in, it'll tell you like to do an overlap. That gives it to you. And you'll save it as like a JPEG, a PNG, I think even an SVG, and you can bring it in. And so what I did was I brought that in. And when I did mine, I put it there and I kept playing around with the numbers to figure out what I had to do to it to make it match this template from the template maker. And I want to say you have to make the height and you have to make the top circumference and the bottom circumference. I want to say you have to make that either 1 inch bigger or like add 0.1. So like, let's say if it was like 6.5, you may have to make it 6.6. I forget off the top of my head. I created the one for the 20-ounce tumbler, and I also did it when it came to my course for creating those. But right now it is skipping my memory to know if like which one you're supposed to increase. But that's how I figured it out. I did the one that gives you the true wrap because you can do an overlap. And then I played around with the numbers and realized how much more I had to increase it for it to go around. Tips to start sublimation. We're going to come back to that one because, I mean, that's a loaded question. If you can make it a little bit more specific, because, I mean, the tips to really, sublimation really is not. Yes, son. Yes. Okay. Go with brother. Okay. Hold on 1 second, y'all. All right. So key things for sublimation: finding a printer, deciding if you're going to stay team small and go with the smaller format, or you're going to pay a little bit more money and get the larger format, depending on what you want to make. You may end up with multiples. I know some people that have 2 and 3 sublimation printers. I have 2. Actually, no, I have 3 because I have a small Sawgrass. I have the Epson Workforce that has sublimation ink in it, and then I have my 7720. So I have 3. So printer, of course, you got to get the best ink and paper on the market. Honestly speaking, sublimation paper, shop.hsink365.com. So you're going to go there and get that. Pick up maybe some heat tape, some type of cover paper, butcher paper, or parchment paper, and then substrates. Sublimation works on synthetic fibers, so that's where your polyester comes in, even like your nylons and things like that. So it has to be synthetic. The higher the polyester count, the better the print. You can't do colors. Well, some certain light colors you can, but it's going to affect the overall look of it. Because ink is translucent. And then for tumblers, you just want to make, or any type of drinkware, like my little cup that's back there, you just want to make sure that it is from a vendor that sells sub-ready substrates. Sub-ready substrates. And watch my videos for tips and times, because contrary to popular belief, it's not the substrate, because one person can have this same tumbler and they're using a different paper and they have to use a temp and a time that's much higher or much longer than what you would use with ours. Like certain colors, I can sublimate in 3 minutes in an oven. There are going to be some where to release all that ink on a shirt, you're going to have to do 60 seconds. Our paper releases in 30 to 45 seconds. So contrary to popular belief, it's not necessarily the substrate. A lot of times it's your paper as well, because each paper releases at different temps and times. And I pretty much use the same thing, 365, 30 seconds for shirts, keychains, MDF, metal cards. Like my heat press really ever changes from 365 and 30 seconds. But if you have a specific question, that will be best, because I mean, I can go and basically give you my sublimation class. I have a beginner one. In my beginner sublimation one, in groups and stuff, little videos, they're going to go and they're going to tell you to start sublimation. You need a printer, you need sublimation ink, you need sublimation paper, you need a lint brush, you need heat gloves, you need tape, and you need cover paper. And then you're going to go, you're going to design it, you're going to print it out, and then you're going to press it. But then where is all the other information? Knowing about pressure, about temp and time. When your colors don't come out correctly, what could be the reason? Is it your printer? Is it your settings? How to troubleshoot. That's what I go over. So I don't do, if you want to watch like the little fluff stuff and like these little quick videos, 15 minutes, this and the third, YouTube University is going to be great. But when you really want to learn sublimation, that's where my classes are coming at. Or even just watching my videos, because I give way more detail about the process, because there's so much more to it. What do you do to be able to put designs on colored shirts or cotton shirts or this, that, and the third? My beginners class goes over all that. You get all of it in like one neat little package to go over troubleshooting, understanding print settings, understanding your printouts. When this happens, so if it looks like this is going to be the reason why. This is what you need to check. I give it all to you. Let's see. I must have lucked out with my EcoTape in 2000. Always works great. Knock on wood. Everyone always thinks that until something happens. Can you sublimate on black? No, you cannot. You cannot sublimate on anything that is black. Ink is translucent. So anything that you print to that's color, it's not even going to give you that color. Like it's not going to be like, let's say it's like yellow and you put it on something pink. It's going to change the color a little bit. Because think of like a highlighter. If you can't take a highlighter and put it on blue paper, green paper, black paper, you're not going to see it. it's the same thing. Ink is translucent. So no, even though it's polyester, you cannot sub to dark colors. Now, lighter colors like reds, yellows, blacks, browns, think like darker colors will show up black on there. So even if you take a blue, you're not going to get a royal blue on a red shirt. It's going to show basically still black. How do you add patterns to images? A couple different ways you can do that. You can either add them to your library. There is a very detailed video on adding them to your library because you have to save the JPEG on your computer first. And then you want to have your library open, which I'm not even logged in. That's why I was saying it's a detailed video because I don't want to go through like logging in and putting in my password. But I have a video on showing you how to do that. So then you're going to take your JPEG that you have open. You're going to have the window, like the file open. You're going to click on it, drag it over to your library, put it in there, drop it. It's in there. So when it does that, it will show up in your patterns folder. Hey, I don't have any patterns in here. I got to update mine. I never even realized like all of my stuff is gone because I'm not logged in. That's probably why. So then they'll be here. And then you can simply click on any pattern and then it'll add it to it. Now, if you don't want to put it on your computer or in your library, because that will take up the space of your cloud, you can. So let's just say watercolor background. All right. I'm going to come here and I'm going to copy. I'm going to bring it over. I'm going to click on Select Studio and I'm going to go paste. I'm going to send it to the back and I'm going to select the part that I want it to go into. Modify and crop, and it's going to go inside. So I'm going to go paste in front. I'm going to paste again. I'm going to shrink this down. And I'm going to show you even from the top. I'm going to select here, select just those top portions, crop, and it's going to go inside there. So that's how you would add a background to an image, a shape, letter, numbers. If it's an SVG you can do the same thing. So this is basically like a vector file. It's an SVG. So if I wanted to fill one of these, we're going to go paste. I'm going to send it to the back only because I want to see where my C is. I want more of this color in it. So I'm going to put that right there. Hold down Shift, click on the C and crop. Oh, wait, I forgot to ungroup. Ungroup. Oh, let's do the outline. Hold down Shift, click on the C and wrong piece. Dang it. I want to click on this one, hold down Shift, click on the image and crop. So see, and then let's say I want my C to have this color right here. I'm going to click on this part here. I'm going to go up to my color palette, click on the line, and then I'm going to sample this pretty pinkish purplish color. Trying to get right there in like that. If I wanted this to be, let's say this version of purple, I can do that as well. So that's how you do that. I got my home cloud. Can I delete files off my PC or does it have to still have? No, you can, once it's on your cloud, you can delete it from your PC. Yes, you can delete them from your computer. Just make sure that they're on the cloud first. Yes, you can replace the print head part. I brought the sublimation. I brought the beginner sublimation kit for the 7710. I thought the cartridges just go in, but it's saying I have not yet. So it's going to always tell you that they're non-Epson cartridges. They are compatible Epson cartridges, but they're not genuine. So you're going to get the warning that says these are non-genuine Epson cartridges. you hit proceed. It's going to give you a warning, tell you, hey, you're going to void the warranty. We all know that. So you just hit proceed. It's going to ask you, do you want to continue to use these cartridges? You hit yes. You may end up seeing another warning on your computer. You just hit yes or continue. But yeah, anyone who's using those cartridges, you will get that warning. Yeah, it has nothing to do with the air or anything like that. They are third-party chips. What do I use for chip bags? Just regular paper. I actually don't prefer the glossy paper. I actually like the way matte looks. That's why I say everyone has different preferences, but Koala is pretty much what I use. They have a glossy and a matte paper. So as of right now, I'm using Koala. Before I used to use Hammer Mill, but their quality changed quite a bit. So I pretty much use Koala brand like photo paper now, the matte and the glossy. I use a tumbler press. What temp and time? 365, 30 seconds. I'm being so serious. And then, of course, you'll rotate it. 360 for tumblers, 365, 30 seconds. Maybe like 45, but 365, 30 seconds. You can even go lower. I think somebody said they did like 350 and still did like 30 seconds with our paper. If you're using somebody else's paper, I can't advise you on that. It will go further. Just hit proceed and then hit OK. It doesn't block you. It doesn't stop you. Now, if it says not recognized, that's different. But if it says this is a non-genuine cartridge, you just hit proceed and then OK. It will go past it. Now, if it's an X, that is different. You may have to take it out, put it back in. That's where the resetter comes in. So like if you've used it and it's not working, that's the chip. That's when you reset it. Or take it out, put it back in, and it should reset. But it definitely should let you go past it. Proceed, and then yes. You're going to get 2 warnings. Proceed, and then yes. Okay, and then just let me know what it says. Love So Real, I swear, is one of my favorite people on Facebook. Their videos are so hilarious. All right, guys, if you have questions, feel free to ask. Cannot recognize. So that's an X. That's different. So you should be getting an X, and so it's not picking up on it. Take it out, put it back in. It should reset it. Or you might need a chip resetter. But normally, just like if you were using it and now it's saying it can't be recognized, normally those are auto reset. I'm not sure if you got them from us or from someone else. Some people do still sell the single-use chips for those. Our chips are auto reset, which means once you get to an X and it says cartridge not recognized, all you have to do is take it out, put it back in. Now, preferably top it off with ink and put it back in. Or you can try, if it's still not saying it, chip resetter really isn't going to help, but that's what the chip resetter is for. Before it gets to that point, you reset it and you won't have to worry about stopping in the middle of a print. But if it came from us, it should be an auto reset. Take it out, put it back in. Yeah, then take it out, put it back in. How hard is it to calibrate the Cameo 4? I can't get my printing cut to cut correctly. It just cuts all over my vinyl. Do you have a regular Cameo, the 12-inch, the 15, or the Pro? 12-inch, 15-inch, or Pro? How to save background files to Silhouette so I can go to color tab. How to save background files to Silhouette so I can go to color tab and click on it. Oh, I just talked about that. So you have to have the JPEG And then you have Silhouette open and your library open, and from the file. So, you have you go to your C drive, you go to pictures or wherever you documents, wherever you have the download at, you click on that JPEG file, click and drag it, drop it in the library. It's there. Well, go to the part that says patterns. I have a video. Watch it. It's also in my course. So you're going to open up I'm not logged in. So let me log in before I go back on there. So let me log in before I show my screen. Let me log in. I'm telling you guys, like, don't think of it as, okay, I may not have this. I mean, there was someone that said, like, they thought like they took a chance on it. A lot of the questions that you guys have, and I tell you, everything is covered in this 30-day training. Don't sleep on this training. I'm telling you, you will never experience anything like it. You're going to feel like it's not just the basics. By the end, you are going to really feel empowered to be able to make most designs. After that, it just becomes like, you'll understand the program. Now you can focus on learning the creative part, understanding concepts and composition. But when you're trying to basically mix the two, those are two different learning things. Learning a program and knowing what the tools do, and then learning how to design, two different things. And it's virtually impossible to do them both, because as you're trying to put this design together in your head, that you have in your head, and put it on the screen, because you don't know which tool to do what. You don't know how to make something an outline. You don't know how to split something to add something to it. You're going to be so frustrated. It is very important to learn the tools and then learn to design. That is why I am structured the way that I am. I could very well go and just have these classes. Yep, I'm going to show you design. And all I'm going to do is, okay, we're going to take this, we're going to put it here, we're going to crop, we're going to move this around, move this to the back. Wait, why you move that to the back? Hey, you should. It's how the program works. I don't have time for that. We got to finish this design. So I can go in, I can show you, okay, we're going to put this here. We're going to change the color. You're going to take these words. We're going to do text to path. Wait, how'd you get to that part? How'd you get it to curve? I did text to path. What's text to path? I'm sorry. I'm not teaching tech. I'm not teaching basics. I'm teaching you how to design. So to design, you need text to path to do this. That is how my classes are going to go. When I'm saying text to path, I'm just going to say, we're going to create a circle and we're going to go text to path. I'm not breaking down and taking time to now do a whole training session on text to path. That's where the 30-day training comes in at. So little things like that, don't take for granted getting help. I know as creatives, we like to think that we can do it. Oh, I'm going to figure it out. I'm creative. I can figure it out myself. But why? When someone's offering you, like, I'm going to bridge the gap for you. You're still figuring it out yourself, but someone's giving it to you structured, where it's going to make it easier to understand, even in the mistakes that you made. That's another one of the frustrating parts. You'll do something and then there's a mistake, and it's like one little thing and you're not understanding. I did it yesterday on Subtract. I followed this video verbatim, step for step for step for step. It's not working. It's not subtracting. It's not cropping. Why? Do you know in my course, I don't erase the mistakes. I show them to you, because then you're able to write your notes and you're able to learn from that. So when it happens to you, okay, well, let me ungroup. I remember Shakia said, check for this, this, and this. Dang, that's what it was. This little piece, and I barely even saw it. That's what caused everything to go haywire. That's where my course is important. You're not going to find anyone that's going to show you those little nuances. If it says that it's an X, that chip may be gone. This is another reason why I say it is important to have extra sets of cartridges on hand. That chip may have gone bad, or it just won't recognize it until it's reset by another chip. If you still have the Epson cartridges that you set it up with, put that in there. Sometimes that will help completely reset the system. And then when you put that one back in. But if you've taken it out and put it back in and it still says X, a chip resetter will not, if it's already on an X, a chip resetter will do nothing for it. You will have to have another set and put it in there. You can also wipe it down with some alcohol. Take the chip off, put it back on. Make sure it's seated properly, and then do that. But if it's just a consistent X, it's best just to put a new cartridge in there. I've experienced it myself. All right, so let me sign in. Oh, what you mean? Hold on. What you mean? Oh, okay, there it is. I was like, wait, what's wrong with my library? All right, so it's loading. I'm gonna let that load and I'll go over there and I'll show you how to drop it in there. Looking for clear printable vinyl for inkjet printer. Which do you recommend? Thank you for your channel. So I don't recommend any vinyl because the truth of the matter is vinyl cannot be printed with a inkjet printer. It just can't. The way vinyl is made, it cannot. You're going to have some people that's going to say that it's vinyl. Baby, that's nothing but sticker paper. It's not vinyl. And you're going to be, oh, well, such and such. What the hell is this? And people heard the life circle. What? Oh, okay. So you might see videos and they're going to say that they're using vinyl. Even with these whole eco-solvent things, it's saying that it's vinyl. It's not really vinyl. It's sticker paper because real vinyl cannot be printed with an inkjet printer. So I don't have any recommendations for you. Now, clear sticker paper, that's a little bit different. There's a couple of them from like Amazon that I've used. But vinyl, I have nothing for you because there's technically nothing that exists that is actually vinyl. Because of the way cast and calendar vinyl is made, it's not ever going to take regular inkjet ink, and it's not going to take without heat. You have to, when you have the eco solvent, like my Roland, it has a heater in it, and it heats that up to make it set in the vinyl, but it does not take regular pigment ink. So clear, it's a lot of ones on, and then online labels. They have some really good clear sticker paper, but it won't be vinyl. As far as actual vinyl, I use everything Oracle with my Roland. Do you do sublimation only or vinyl as well? I'm looking for good vinyl for t-shirts that last and press as well. I do vinyl. That's where I started. I've only been doing sublimation for it's like 3-4 years now. I started with vinyl. I am a Caesar girl. That's just my preference. I have tried Thermoflex. It's just not for me. One of the ones I do want to try so that I can compare it is the Stahls. I've heard really great things about Stahls CAD cut vinyl. I just haven't ordered it. You know what? I'm going to make it my business to order me some probably today. Today, when I get off, I'm going to order me some CAD cut vinyl from Stahls. I personally don't care for Thermoflex. It's thin. Some people like the thinner, especially with the glitter. I don't feel like it weeds well. I love how Caesar weeds. I've used other vinyls because like one of the places I come, it's like a generic type vinyl. Basically from overseas, it's an imported vinyl. They just call it PU. The glitter ones, I actually like. The smooth ones, not so much. So for me, only thing I can recommend to you is Caesar, and I actually like Cricut vinyl. I'm not sure if it's changed. It's been a couple years since I purchased Cricut, but back in the day, you couldn't tell me that Cricut wasn't just taking Caesar vinyl and repackaging it, because Caesar's glitter vinyl has these very distinct lines in it. So it's a good thing and a bad thing. Like, I love Caesar, but it has these really distinctive lines in their glitter, which can be very annoying. And that's why I say I like the glitter vinyl from like China and like overseas that's imported, because it's nice and smooth. And when I first did like Cricut, it had that very distinct. I was like, you can't tell me that they're not packaging up Caesar vinyl. Like, but people say now that it's different. People can't stand it, but I loved Cricut vinyl when I first started. I'm just joining. My printer went out. What's a good printer to get that takes the chip resetter? There is no printer on the market, brand new, that's manufactured, that you can use a chip resetter on. There is none. All of the newer Epson printers require you to change the chips. So I cannot recommend one. Now, if you want to find one that's used, any of like the 7710, 7720, 7210, 7310, like all the ones that's on the list for $252 on my website, any of those, if you can find them, use. But as far as getting one that has a warranty, that you can purchase purchase a protection plan on, there is none. Good afternoon. When will you start buy-ins? I've thought about products. Yes, I have thought about the products that I offer. I'm not sure. I'm still in a grieving process. I wanted to do that because I felt like that was like mindless for me to kind of do it, but I'm slowly trying to get back into it. But I wanted to put the buzz out there and find out what people wanted. So I cannot say exactly when that's going to start because I have my days. So maybe I'll wrap my head around it after I go to therapy. So I have the Epson 2803 and a Mac desktop. What do I do to set my settings for sublimation? I have a PC. I don't have a Mac, but I do, well, in my office. My husband has a Mac. I'm going to get the Mac video for you. The most important thing when it comes to setting up the Mac, and I am posting it now. I'm not sure which Facebook you're on. Sometimes if you're watching from Shaquille, I'm not on Shaquille, I'm just on Stillhawks Anonymous. So yeah, I just posted it. The most important thing is when you set it up, right? And it says either kind or use. And if yours says AirPrint, you're going to have to delete that printer altogether, re-find it, and make sure you've downloaded the drivers and install the drivers. And when it says use or kind, I forget the terminology. It's on the video though. You choose Epson EcoTank 2803 so that it will go off of the preferences and the settings that's associated with the driver. If it says AirPrint, you will never see any of those options. But I just posted the video. Follow that and you'll be able to set your Mac up. Now, I did my video based on using my paper. I don't use premium presentation paper matte. I don't have a need for it. I get amazing colors. This is plain paper setting. This is not premium matte. Plain paper setting. Faces crisp. There's no difference. Like I'm not getting something where like the faces and things are not crisp. This shirt right here. Plain paper setting. Plain paper setting. I don't use premium matte. This plain paper setting. Now, tumblers can be a little bit different. This is plain paper setting. Then I end up, because for the blacks, for some reason for me, I feel like I have to do premium matte. But this is plain paper setting. But it still look like the color still comes in. My light is going to make it look weird. But this is plain paper setting. I mean, I guess the blacks weren't that bad on this one. Because it was a smaller piece. But when it's a whole black like this, which I don't know why my camera's making this look brown, because it's definitely full on black in person. I don't know why that's making that look like that. If you want to use premium matte, you're going to have to take your density down to the negatives. -25. And with Macs, you have to go like -25, -30. With PCs, it's like -18 to -21 because it's going to put down a lot of ink. If you're using, honestly, SpINKing paper. Now, if you're using a different paper where it absorbs a lot of ink, you might be able to still use premium matte. My settings are based off of the settings for this paper. They still work. With other papers, you should be able to still maybe use like plain paper, because sublimation, you really don't need like a lot of ink. But they're based off of this. But it'll at least give you the generalized setup. And then if you need to, instead of using plain paper setting, you'll put premium matte standard. Guys, if you're using premium matte, don't use high. Even I think once you get to a certain page size, it doesn't even allow you to do high. High is it's a setting that's made for the lower ink settings, like plain paper, envelope, high quality. But premium matte, photo glossy, semi-gloss, all of those, they naturally put down a lot of ink. Don't use high for those. You have the 12-inch. Are you using a non-silhouette mat, or are you using a, I'm sorry, I know it's like now I'm asking more questions than I asked in the beginning, but are you using a non-silhouette mat or a silhouette mat? Unless you have taken your machine and it went on a plane ride or a train ride and it went bumpity bump, calibration is not going to be the problem. It only needs to be calibrated if like it literally went bump in the night. If it's the cartridge is off, it's a number of things. You may have your settings dialed up too high to where as soon as it starts to cut, it digs in your paper, it jumps, and every other cut after that's going to be off. Little things like that. But calibration, definitely not it. Now, if you're using a non-silhouette mat, then you have to calibrate or set up your mat. I only use Cricut mats, but it's not set up like a silhouette mat. You can see where the Cricut, but for silhouette, it's where my tape edges are. So you have to watch my video on how to set up your mat. Thank you. I have your ink and paper. For an embarrassing long time, I decided to stop being a punk. Plus, I need an alternate source of income. If I can be perfectly honest with you guys, if you weren't like kind of doing some things where you have an audience, give yourself some grace and be patient with the process. Just because others are making money with it doesn't mean that you're immediately going to make money. And it is something that can potentially make you money, but customers aren't going to just come and fall out of the sky to you. You're going to have to put in some work. You're going to have to, if you're not someone, you just kind of come on social media just to be in the groups and kind of sit in the background and just see it. You might save a post, screenshot something, and that's kind of how you navigate social media. When you want to sell, that's not going to fly. You're going to have to be out there like grinding, pumping, pushing the fact that you are now selling products. Also, make sure that you give yourself time. The first time you do it, it might be okay. You might have beginner's luck. Then you're going to have times where even as a beginner, as someone who's been doing it, there are times where I have a perfect seam. I got a seam that ghost. And if you don't understand that can happen, that can be frustrating. You'll feel like, dang it, I'm not great at this. I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't do that. Learn the process first. Give some ish away for free. Like you have to spend money to make money. It's the oldest cliche, but it is very true. You're going to spend out more money because some blanks aren't going to be great. Some things you're going to buy because you're going to see videos, you're going to see people posting in groups, and you're going to realize you don't have an audience for it. So you went out and paid for all this stuff, and you're going to be frustrated because it's not moving and selling, but the people who you have access to, that might not be something that they want. If you don't expand, really talk about your services, the products that you have. If you are fearful saying, well, I don't want to put all this on my page, I don't want them to think I'm always selling something. You are in business. We were friends on Facebook for years. I've known you since I was a baby. We've had our time for friendship. Now I'm about my money. I'm about, I'm about God's business. I'm about my money. So if you don't want to see me post about my business, that means you don't support me. Anyone that if they go and they're bold enough to say it to you, if they don't want to, they unfollow you, then they're not for you. You need to be posting on your page every single day, reminding people, because sometimes they may not have seen the post that you posted at 2:00. They might not see the post you made at 5:00 on Wednesday. They may have been out of it, took a break from social media. Then you go and you're being consistent with posting. Boom. They on social media on a Friday. Oh, snap. Dang, I didn't even know where I've been at. She's selling this. Oh, this is nice. You got to be consistent. Just having the machine, just having the printers, having the heat presses, having the substrates doesn't automatically equate to you making money. You guys have to put in the work. You cannot be shy. Once you decide to be a business owner, unless you are going to have somebody else be the mouthpiece for your business and be your spokesperson, if you were shy, if you were an introvert, baby, you got to come out of that. Go ahead and make you an alternate ego, like what that girl name is. Beyonce did. She always say Beyonce, a little bit more reserved. Sasha Fierce, lose her dang old mind. So you may have to create that persona for your business to where, Yes, you as a person, you're more reserved, but you got to go hard for your business. Point blank in the period. How do you add the color gray? How do I add the color gray to my color selection? Are you saying not to use the colors on the software because they're not right? You're going to get my color chart. You're going to press it to a tumbler. You're going to press it to a shirt. You're going to press it to glitter vinyl, whatever medias you use. And then you're going to figure out what color code it is. And then you're going to, so let's say, oh, well, let's go back over here because now it's open. So let's say we go here. I'm going to go and find that watercolor that I used. Okay, so let's say I go here. Ooh. Digital download. So let me see. I'm going to go here. All right. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to go like this and I'm going to go save image as, and I'm going to go watercolor. I don't know what color it was, blue, whatever. And I'm going to, oh, that went to my Google Drive. Oh, well. So now that's there, I'm going to open up this. We're going to open up here. I'm going to go to my Google Drive, which I don't know why it went there. Actually, no. Can I go to quick access? Yeah. So watercolor blue is here, right? I'm going to come down here to my patterns. And I'm going to come back over here. I'm going to grab, well, you know what? Let's just do this. I can probably do it from here though. But I'm going to open, where is open file location? Open file location. All right. Oh, look, here's a sky. I'm going to click on this. I'm going to drag it and just drop it in there. I'm going to find that watercolor one. Where did you go? Where did you go? Oh, here it is. Watercolor blue. Click on it. Drag it down here. I'm going to go back up to design. I'm going to click here. Go over to my fill patterns. And scroll down. And patterns. Watercolor. Sky. So it's there. That's how easy it is to add them. So when it comes to the gray, I'm going to go File, Open. Actually, you know what? It might be Cancel, File, Open, Recent. Is my color chart here? Fade bar, family shirts. Nope, it's not here. Okay, so File, Open. And color chart. Oh, no, wrong one. Go here. And I'm searching in the wrong area. Up here. Color chart. And we're going to go here. I'm going to open up the one that has all the colors. Okay. And so let's say I looked on my printed and pressed chart and I wanted, let's say, color chart 2 rows in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I wanted this one. I'm going to make any type of shape. I'm going to come over here, sample that color, and then I'm going to come down here. You can create a new palette that says grays, or if there's anything that's already open, you just go and hit the plus sign. And now that gray is there. On your screen, it will not look like the color that is pressed on. That's the whole purpose of the color chart. You're going to see some colors that they just aren't, like there's certain ones like on here, these look gray, but from a 2720, they don't look like this. The ones that's on chart 1 here, once they're pressed, those all look brown. Every last one of those look brown once it's pressed. Now, the best grays from this 2720 is actually from chart. It's from this chart. Hey, I just realized I never put what chart that was. This one right here. But the best grades on a 2720 actually comes from this section right here. So again, I'm going to make any shape. I'm going to fill that in with a color, and I'm going to hit plus sign. That's how you add colors to your color palette. Let's see. Where are we? So now so it's working now. So now you got a check, or you mean an exclamation mark for everything except the yellow. Take it out, put it back in, wipe it off with alcohol. Hey, you're making progress. Yes, I do have a video for making chip bags. It's on Honestly Speaking's YouTube channel. If you just open the box, then they definitely, so then that's something with your printer. Then, check and make sure none of your pens are bent. Wipe it off with alcohol, because if it's a brand new set, it definitely should be reading in your printer, in your printer. I use Photoshop and Corel, and I use my Cameo only to cut, but I'm buying the course today to learn more about Silhouette Studio. You'll probably find that it'll help you understand those programs better too. Aw, thank you. Her teaching is so amazing that you can watch the playbacks and know all you can about what she is teaching. You said, what's it? What do you mean, what's it? I'm not sure what you mean. What would cause my knife tool to not work? What do you mean it's not working? Like, is it, got to give me more than that. What is it not doing? Because, I mean, is it, when you go through it, it's not completely separating it? Are you cutting an SVG? Is it a JPEG? Is it a PNG? I need a little bit more information. I like Stahl's. Yeah, I can't wait to try their vinyl. I've been wanting food for years now, and I just haven't. Which one tells you about designing? Which one what? My course or my video? So would it be better to do an Epson 15,000? Me personally, I don't advocate for eco tanks. I'm not an eco tank person. I can't stand them. I mean, for me, I'm going to always recommend a workforce. Some people don't like dealing with cartridges. Some people don't like the fact that you have to basically do what you have always had to do with cartridges, and that's change them out. In this sense, it means to change out the chip. It's about to storm. Some people don't like that. I don't mind. Like, I purchased cartridges for years. Cartridges, like when I see Epson, oh, go cartridge free. And I'm like, who was really having that much issues with cartridges? Like, I've never had those kind of issues. So, and when I first got mine, I purchased the XL cartridges, and I never had like issues and stuff. So for me, I don't advocate. I don't really recommend. I let people know that you can use them, but I don't, I'm never going to really buy a wide format like 15,000 or 8550. I just don't see the purpose. Like, it actually, the resolution on some of those is not as great as the workforce. So they give you the better quality in the cartridge-based printers. Like the 16650 has the same resolution, but some of the other ones, when you look at like resolution and stuff like that, especially even with the scanning, the printing, the resolution is lower. If you look at the print speed, it's lower than the workforce. So they give you the better features in the one where they think you're going to come back and buy more cartridges, like buy more stuff from them. The eco tanks, once you buy them, they're telling you this ink can last 2 years. So you are not a customer that's going to like give them a lot of money, like, be a repeat, because it's like if it lasts 2 years, hello, someone's not coming to you for 2 years or a year or even like 6 months to buy ink. That's why they charge you so much more for the EcoTank printers. They don't work better than the workforces. They actually work worse than the workforces, but they're going to charge you so much because you're not coming back to them at least once a month or every 2 months for ink. You got this ink that's going to I've had ink in this printer for almost a year. So you're going to just keep using that same ink. They're smart. They're good business people, right? So the one that's we're going to give you the better, but you got to keep coming back to us. Or, even if you're not going back to them, you're going to have to keep buying chips and stuff like that for it. I love workforces. I'm a workforce. I love them all day, every day. I'm not really into EcoTanks. Yes. Well, 125, that means you're using, again, you can test for other people's paper. We don't sell 125, we sell 120. I can only guarantee that it works with this paper. You can try out my recommended settings on the paper that you use and see if it works. But I can only guarantee those settings for what I use every single day. Have I used those other papers? Yes. Technically, I do know what works. But I'd be a darn fool to go and give you information to help you with somebody else's product, like direct information. The 30-day course is, you can purchase it on our website, shop.hsync365.com. It is hosted through our Academy site. So this is where you would purchase it, but you're going to get an email that's going to be like your welcome one if you don't already have an account on my Academy site. I always tell you guys, create an account on the Academy site. I do giveaways. If you don't already have an account on there, when I do a giveaway, I go on to the next person. You have to have an account on my Academy site. Let's go here. Let's go like this. This is the Academy site. You go on here and you create a free account. So I'm signed in, but you go over here and you create a free account because sometimes I do giveaways. This is where the course lives. You'll go to your dashboard and it's going to be in your dashboard as far as getting access to the playbacks, to the downloads and all that stuff. But you can purchase it, here on this is where all of our transactions happen. Just joining, is it possible to convert a Workforce 7620 previously used for inkjet? Yes, you can convert any printer at any time. There's no extra. I don't care if that printer was used for 10 years as a Pigment ink printer. Once you go to our website, you buy the pre-filled cartridges, you take the vent plugs out, you put them in, one printhead cleaning, you're set, you're done, no issues. You do not have to do all these 30,000 printhead cleanings. I don't understand how people who sell ink and paper will tell folk that, well, you have to, well, not more the paper, like the ink. Oh, you're supposed to get broken lines. Keep printing it until you get broken lines and then it clears up. All you're doing is switching the types of cartridges. That's the dumbest thing in the world to tell people that they're supposed to get broken lines. That's not how this works. That the ink is the ink. The printer doesn't know that. That means you, as the person who sells this, did not set your cartridges up right and you're giving people wrong information. I don't care if that printer was used for 10 years. Buy our pre-filled cartridges. It's already primed for you. Take those back row of plugs out, put that bad boy in, run a printhead cleaning, print you out some stuff, go ahead and get to sublimating. We have it's the 252s. It's on our website. We have a full bundle. DI get the quick start bundle with the chip resetter. Best thing you're going to do. So over here, we're going to go back to home. Come down here, right here, see, 7620. Click on that. Come down, first one, quick start bundle. Everything you need right here. You'll be subbing in no time. It's just a matter of switching out the cartridges. You have a list of printers that can be converted. I want larger than my Sawgrass allows. So there is, like, if you come on here, it pretty much lists them. I have videos that go over it. Right here, if I go back one, Back another one. Right here, it'll tell you. Well, these are all of the older ones, so you can't really use those. As far as newer ones, if you want an eco tank, if you click on the eco tank one, it's going to list all, well, this probably needs to be updated because now they have like 2803, 2800, like Epson's always changing their number. So for the most part, it's here, but for this, see, like this, I need to change it because the 8550 is a wide format, so I need to add that one. But at the top of all of mine, it tells you when you come over to the 7820, 7840, these are all wide format. So that one, there is no difference in it. But all the information is on our website. It says replacement was complete. Can't believe it. Thank you. Woohoo! Awesome. Now, run a print head cleaning. No, you're doing Pigment. Wait, you're doing Pigment ink or Sublimation? If you're doing Sublimation, go to maintenance, settings, maintenance, run a print head cleaning, and you are ready to go, my dear. If you're using a silhouette mat, post pictures. I mean, I would have to see what it is that you're doing, what your setup is. That is what my groups are for, guys. Y'all go to all these other people groups, but then y'all got to come to my lives and get answers when you could be in my group and just post your questions, post your pictures so I can see it and I can give you the most accurate answer, because it might be you set up where your image is in the restrictive area. That's going to throw off your cuts. Watch my video, search Silaholics Anonymous print and cut. It has some dinosaurs on it. I gave you every possible tip for doing print and cuts. If you're still getting issues, then it's probably something that's specific to what you're doing. And if you can't figure it out from the videos, book a one-on-one session with me so I can physically see everything that you're going through to figure out what's wrong. Sometimes videos can't help because you might just be missing one thing that you're overlooking. So book a session with me. We're going to look at your screen, how you have it set up. I'm going to have you print it out. I'm going to have you show me what it looks like on your mat, and we're going to go from there. This is just something of my madness. I do too much. They're mad because I ain't selling other sub. Now I don't know what to print. Lord have mercy. Consistency is the key. You are very enlightening. I really like what you do. Thank you. Professor, the video is not clear. Is it my TV? It could be my TV, but I want you to let you know. Is it blurry? I can't control it. We're about to have a storm, so it probably is my video because it's about to storm. Hey, Professor, I'm a newbie. I have a Cricut Explorer 2, Cricut Mug Press, and the Epson Workforce 7310. I'm interested in t-shirt sublimation and vinyl. Do you have a beginner training class? For both of those together, nope. But for sublimation in general, I do have a beginners, and I go over like all the things that you're going to know, sun setting colors, and then hopefully in July I can do the hands-on class. As far as like you guys will print it out and sub, and then whatever issues you have, we can kind of work it out then. But I do have a beginner one that's for sublimation. It's not for vinyl. My T-shirt academy, that's going to pretty much go over every type of way you can make shirts, was supposed to start at the beginning of July. I'm still in a grieving state. Don't let this fool you. This is therapy for me. This is to keep me from crying. I'm trying my best to get back into the groove of creating structured content, but I can't focus long enough to create structured content, like to finish off my structured content and teach the structured content. But hopefully I will have like the t-shirt course, the academy will be open soon. And that's where I'm going to go over every possible way. Sublimation, vinyl, printable transfers. Although I don't do DTF as far as printing it, I can give you all the information, and I plan to have some DTF prints made. So we're going to go over screen print transfers with ordering them, what they look like when you press, what's the advantages and disadvantages of them. It's going to be more educational first because you just need to know about these processes. If you make a design can be literally made from any of those at any point. So the design part is important, but not as important. Oh, eco-solvent as well. So I'm going to, like, the first couple of sessions are going to be educational so that you understand all these different methods, the pros and the cons. And then you're going to be able to think and say, okay, that's not the type of work I'm trying to do. So although these YouTube videos and content creators make this look so good and they're saying this is the best option, it really ain't for me, because sometimes you're not seeing all of the methods side by side and really comparing them. That's what my T-shirt Academy is going to do. And then once we go over that, we're going to go through a little bit of designing. We're going to go through understanding the price point. Not all shirt methods are going to be profitable. Like screen printing, it can be profitable, but only if you're doing a high volume. If you're like people want ones or twos, you'll never make money in screen printing. So that's what is going to really teach you about T-shirt business and knowing what's going to be best for you. So just be on the lookout for that. You can always get on our mailing list. That way, once those classes come out, you'll know about them. Does your class show how to organize and everything I need to complete? Organize what? Or what are you trying to, your blanks, your files, your business? I'm not sure what you mean by organize. And everyone's organization is different. Thanks. Is there a specific website to get the color charts from? Yes. shop.hsink365.com. Click on Essentials. And boom, right there. $8. And when you do it, you're going to get the free download for the week. So it's a win-win. I appreciate you sharing your time and expertise. You are very welcome. This is what I love to do. Can't tell I'm very passionate about this. I love what I do. I like to add something educational. I like to add something educational you offer to my budget. What do you recommend first? Where is it? Right there. That's going to always be my first one. Before you take any of my other courses, you need to start right here. This right here. This is where you need to start. Anyone. This is where you need to start. I'm going to drop the link in the comment section as well. I've had the same cartridges for 3 or 4 years. Have you done any training on how to transfer an Epson 7210? I have 3 and wasn't sure if it works. Works the exact same way. So my mom's 7210, we did it's set up for Sublimation. So that was in August of last year when I went to go set up hers. Same exact way. 1 print head cleaning. That was it. Now, when I did hers, I wanted to show that as soon as you do that initial one, technically Sublimation ink is in the printer and it came out light. Then as soon as we did that 1 print head cleaning, guess what? It now, it printed beautifully, plain paper setting, and you're going to see how rich and amazing those colors look. So yes, if you search actually if you search, honestly speaking, SpINKing or Silaholics Anonymous on YouTube, and then put Sublimation 7210 or something like that, that video will come up. And we set up her Hottronics. It's a longer video because we set up her Hottronics and we set up her printer. Cool beans. After that, it depends on what you want. I don't offer something where it's like everything all inclusive. If you want to learn more about putting together memorial designs and understanding those design concepts, there's a memorial class. If you want to learn more about switch ups, where you can switch up like the images of like the ladies with the afros or the hair and all that stuff, the switch up course is great for that one. There is one for like chip bags and stuff like that. The Event Academy is going to cover party favors, cutouts, invitations, and so much more. How about the 16600? I have 2. Plan on converting one for Sublimation and using the other one for journals, chip bags. It's about to rain here too in West Palm. Again, I am not an advocate for Eagle tanks. They don't work for me. I'm not saying that they're not a bad printer. You can definitely use them. 16600 is a pigment ink printer. So it is going to be the better one out of any of the other ones. It's the most expensive one out of the well, no, 16650 is the most expensive one. So it's more expensive for anyone else who's listening, not for you. It's more expensive than the 8550 or the 15,000 because it has better features. It has 2 trays. It has a better resolution. It prints a little bit faster than those printers. But it still at its core has some of the same issues to where it can back up and you're just kind of stuck. You have to let it sit and wait for it to settle before it starts to print. So it can potentially, you may never experience any issues. I'm not saying that everyone's going to experience issues with it. But when you do experience issues, it's not an easy fix. And I don't have time for that. Like if something happens with that one, it takes me less than 5 minutes to fix it. Other people with like eco tanks, they're doing print head clean after print head clean. They're doing power cleans, and you can only do 2 power cleans. From the smallest printer to the largest printer, you can only do 2 power cleans per maintenance tank. And then you'll have to switch out and reset or get a new maintenance tank. But with mine, never have that issue. My maintenance tank, I don't have to do I don't do a lot of print head cleanings. My maintenance tank, this printer is what, 3-4 years old, and I'm not even halfway when it comes to the maintenance tank because I don't have to do all it. Eco tanks, people are always having to do so many print head cleanings. But again, if you don't buy ink from them, what else can they do to where you're going to have to buy something? So with eco tanks, you end up doing all this stuff to where you fill up your maintenance tank. You're going to have to buy a maintenance tank before you have to buy more ink. Epson ain't dumb, y'all. Take your time. Give yourself time. I lost my holder last year, so I understand. If you have been using someone else's sub ink in my 7720, can I switch to your ink? You can. Yes, you can. Just buy the cartridges and switch it out, or drain yours and switch it. Or once the ink in your cartridge gets like all the way down, put ours right on top and then go to print. If you purchase your class and not able to attend live, it'll still be available. I don't have any live classes scheduled right now. The only live classes are a part of my academy program. But once they come up, my classes are always that way. The first run is always live. And then after that, of course, I know that people have busy schedules. Y'all see my kid is in here sometimes. I'm pretty sure y'all have the same thing. You're trying to learn and your kid want to come and sit on your lap. You can't focus, you know? So my classes, every last one of my classes, I've never had a class where you don't have access to the playbacks and you have access to it for forever. Scared the mess out of me. What if my main cutter is a brother scan and cut? Would courses be relevant? So I teach it not for the machine. I don't teach the program in connection with the cutting machine. I use Silhouette Studio as a graphic designing software. It's a great beginner friendly. Now I do have machines. I got 6 of them. But as far as like when I'm teaching it from a design standpoint, not necessarily using machine, because when you're doing sublimation, you're not using a machine at all. So that's how you go and, what it's going to take. These letters weren't a font. I created them. Being able to put this line and then have it welded, although I didn't have to for sublimation. The fade, I put the rings on the 0. So little things like that, like how do you design that? All right. It, of course, shut down. So give me a second. I'm about to put it back up. Everything flashed in the house. That was loud. Let's see. But yes, I teach designing. Thanks, and your color palette can be used with Photoshop and Affinity Design. It's just a file. So there is a PDF version, and you just open that up and whatever program you're using, print it out. But with Photoshop, if you have an EcoTank printer, not just a 2720, any EcoTank printer, because they use dye ink instead of pigment ink, you may want to print out a color chart because your colors are not going to be the same. But normally with Photoshop, you don't really need it because I know on my phone. um I'm waiting for the internet to come back up. But their color palette and the way it mixes is different than Silhouette Studio. So with theirs, I mean, you can get pretty accurate colors, like especially if when you're designing. But for EcoTank printers, yeah, definitely try to use the color chart. Open it up, print it in the color settings, and in that way you can sample those colors. I wish I discovered your channel before purchasing my printers and Cricut. I look forward to a girls' lunch out. Yay! With your ink and using the paper you sell, then you guarantee your colors that are on your color chart. So no, I can never guarantee colors because I don't know what type of monitor you have. You can like here's I always tell people. Let's say you go into Walmart, you go into Best Buy, you go into any place where there's a bunch of TVs, Target on display. Each one of those TVs, depending on the resolution of it, depending on if it's an LED and it has like if it's backlit, that's going to make it look brighter. If it's a 4K, if it's a standard, if it's an HD, all of those things, it can be showing the exact same image or like video, and they'll all look different. The color will look different. This is why I say you have to print out that color chart, press it, because if you're colorblind, you don't see colors, but somebody else can go and once you print it out and you sub it, this is the color I want. So whether you can see those colors or not, you know that when you put in that color code, it's going to come out. Now, I can't guarantee how someone designed. Maybe someone designed something and they didn't use a good color chart. They're not using Photoshop. Maybe they designed it in Silhouette and used Silhouette's raggedy color palette. So it may look one way on your screen, but when it prints out, because it wasn't, or maybe they printed it or they saved it in the wrong format. I'm not going to ever guarantee that it's going to be complete color accuracy. You can never do that with third-party inks. Anyone that says they can do that, even with a profile, it's not going to be 100%. And how it looks on my computer, if you look at something on your computer, look at it on your phone, it's going to look totally, totally, totally different. I will never guarantee that, but I can help you get the best results possible. But I will never guarantee it's going to be 100% accurate because I don't know what monitor you have. I don't know where your design was made from. But when you are designing it yourself and you have it printed out and you know this is the color you want and you put in this color code, it has no choice but to come out the way that you see it on here. But as far as someone else's design, I cannot guarantee that. Y'all give this video a thumbs up because she is schooling us. Yeah, I know it was because I use what I learned from Shakia on Silhouette and cut with my Cricut. Later, Jessie. Hey, Jessie. All right, so I'm gonna stay on. It's an hour and 49 minutes, 50 minutes. So I'm gonna stay on another 10 minutes. So definitely get your questions in. I'm only gonna stay on another 10 minutes. Look, Regina. If you're on or you watch the playback, since now my phone is down here, it's my granny. HS ink is always going to be the best sub ink. Hold on, I'm going to go to the website. 1 second. All right, there we go. And let me pull up our website. Okay, so when you come down here to your EcoTank, EcoTank tells you that this is it. This is I have everything laid out for you. Y'all don't have to think too much when you come to our website. Whatever printer you have, click on the link. Just click on the link. If it's an old school printer, you click on that one. It's a new school workforce, it's the EcoTank. Boom, you click on that. And it's right here. And you're either going to get, of course, you're going to need the 6 color. So you're going to get, there is no such thing as a photo black sublimation ink. There is no such thing as a photo black sublimation ink. So with the 6, you're going to get 2 of the blacks, cyan, magenta, yellow, and a gray. Okay. And technically one, you can, so let's say in the reservoirs, you don't have to open up both. Take this one black, put it in the black, put it in the photo black, and, use that same bottle in both. There is no such thing as photo black. Like there's no difference in it. And technically speaking, you don't need the gray. I only did the gray so that people can actually come to the website because they think that you need it. When it first came out and there was no gray ink, people were using just this right here. Just these 4. And it works. You don't get any better colors with the gray. It actually can mess up your colors, to be honest. But I have the gray on here because people don't believe me when I say it, because every other ink company sells gray. How is she saying you don't need gray? Because you don't. When have I ever lied to you? Never. I have a Mac Pro. How do we set our color palette through this type of computer? Do we follow your color palette? So depends on which program you're using. If you're using Silhouette Studio looks the exact same way. It does not matter if you have a Mac or a PC. Silhouette Studio operates the exact same way. So you don't put the entire color palette. You pick the colors as you need, because what you see here will never match. I'm always referencing my color chart. I do not have this color chart on my palette. These are all like colors from teaching or projects. I do not try to put the entire color palette. Why? I have it here. When I need a color, I'm going to sample that color and keep it moving. You don't need to put the whole thing, but Silhouette Studio looks the exact same way, no matter what program you are using. I mean, no matter which system you're using, Windows or PC. I mean, Windows or Mac. I have 2 Epson printers. Do I have to do settings on both to use my Cricut and you use it? No. Well, Silhouette app, it's a program. So no, once your printer is on your computer, you use it no matter which program you're working from. You just go to print and that printer is going to show up. What's a good software to use to organize your photos for your products? I don't know. I've never used a software to organize photos. I just have them on my computer. So I'm not sure what you mean as far as organize your photos for your products. I don't use anything. I just create folders. As far as like a software, no, I don't use anything. As far as like cropping them down and making them all the same size, Silhouette Studio or Photoshop is all I use. I just ordered my chips and cartridges. Awesome. Thank you. I saw the video yesterday about the photo black ink. I'm getting ready to sign up for the class and I want to order all my stuff this weekend. Awesome. Do you have to have business? Wait, oh, you have to have business edition though to save as an SVG. Yes, correct. Oh wait, did I miss one? Miss Cheryl, which one was that one for? I think I missed something. Because I see thanks, but I think I'm missing something. Oh man, I can't go back. It's not letting me see all of them. I guess because it's shut down. What workforce printers for sublimation are still available? The only ones that are available are the newer ones. That is your Epson. So when you go here, these are the ones that are new, the current workforce printers that are wide format. That's your 7810, 7840. Why do I have 7840 before 7820? 7820 is a single tray. 7840 is two trays. They're both all in ones. The 7310 is two trays, but it's just a printer. As you can see here, it's just a printer. Not, oh, I put it in order of how the pictures were. That's why. So this is the big boy, all in one, two trays, all in one tray. And then the 70, no, this is the 7310 because the screen is smaller. So this is just a printer. So you can see there's no ADF on it. It's two trays. This is the 7820. It's one tray, but it's an all-in-one. These are the only ones that are like workforce printers that are available. And you do have to replace the chips on them. There is no reset option. No, I don't do Photoshop. I know how to use it, but I don't teach it. My girl Shannon teaches Photoshop. I stick to just because I know how to do it. You know, it takes a lot to try and do. It's like, I guess you can say niching down. I use Photoshop a lot, but I will not teach it. I have a basic one where I like start you off. I'm the best person. Like if you take my Photoshop Essentials to Photoshop, it will teach you the basics that you need to know. And then you can then go into others classes like Shannon's. So I do have a basic and essentials to Photoshop, but I don't teach it like designing and all that stuff from it. My platform is Silhouettes Anonymous. So I teach silhouette. I was telling her I use what I learned from you to design silhouette. Oh, and cut on my Cricut, and you have to save it as an SVG. But you don't have to have business edition for that though. That's why I was like, what was it? You know, you can say, I have a video on how to save as an SVG for free. But you only can do 10 a day through through Ideas R Us. So I have that video. So technically, you don't need business edition. But it is a good upgrade. It definitely is a good upgrade. You will love what you can do with you can do on or in Silhouette Studio. I changed the words up a little bit. All right, y'all, we're about to hit our 2-hour mark, and it looks like you guys have slowed down on the questions. Make sure that you guys visit the website. Again, this right here, so important, guys. I'm telling you. I mean, I've designed some awesome and amazing things in Silhouette Studio. Some things that people would never think are designed in Silhouette Studio. And I've done them. So let me see. Let's go to Keone's Stove, only because that's here. I was showing on, was that live or was I on TikTok? I think I was showing that from TikTok. I'm going to go to Asher's. Hopefully it'll open. Cruising with the girls. My yard sign. All of these are things I did right in Silhouette Studio. No outside program, nothing. Everything in here is bringing in a JPEG. Now that's the thing. I mean, you, of course, you can't create this background in Silhouette Studio. You have to bring in that PNG, bring in that JPEG for like the background and stuff like that. Now this one, for the most part, like all of this was set up in Silhouette Studio. Her name, because you can't do that in Silhouette like to this extent. As far as the fade and the drop shadow, that was done in Photoshop. But everything else Every last bit of this was done in Silhouette Studio. Same thing with this one. All set up in here. This right here. This image looked like this before. He's holding a sign. Being able to edit that in Silhouette Studio. And no, that's not the final one. Where is it? And make it this. This stole. This was for the tumbler. So creating all of this, everything here, even this little shadow piece down here. Oh, it's all these are the picture. Hold on. One of these is the silhouette file. Okay, ungroup. Even this, how it's done to make that look like the fade at like on the bottom. All of this is done. This right here. You see how this is layered? All of this is done in Silhouette Studio. The only thing that wasn't was this glow around her. But everything else, I mean, the background was done in Photoshop with a template. I created my own version, just kind of using certain things like the background splashes from my girl Shannon over at Innate Labs. But everything else, how it's laid out, everything is done in Silhouette Studio. Her stole, all Silhouette Studio. So you can do a lot in this software. You can do a lot. All right. And it all starts. I'm going to keep on saying that because it's true. Don't take it for granted. I'm telling y'all, don't take this class for granted. Don't take this class for granted. Don't feel like, okay, I'm going to wait. I'm going to try and figure it out myself. You're going to kick yourself when you realize I was trying to figure this out. You're saving yourself so much time in taking this. And you can jump around. And like, if you want to figure it out yourself, why watch YouTube videos? It's going to be all over the place when you can watch something that's structured. It's going to give you the full understanding of the tool. Don't sleep on this training. You need it. I'm telling you. Okay. I'm going to take the course. Tell me, does design go straight to the printer from the software? If so, yes. Yep. You just go from here and you just hit print and that's it. Oh, you know what? We've been on for too long. I'm going to come back on. I forgot. I was going to talk about printers and stuff, but I'm going to come on really, really quick because it's raining. It might look all crazy. It probably sound all crazy. But I wanted to go over that Coach bag and the designer bag thing again. But this video is like really, really long. I'm going to come right back only because some people are still struggling and I want to go to, which let me do that now. So I don't forget. Images. That way I know which ones I'm going to do. All right. So let's go here. All these websites look exactly the same. All right. Not that one. Handbags. I don't like, well, the crazy thing is they put women, but men, like certain men like their handbags too. So, leather bags, I guess. I don't know if they may not have any bags that are straight on. It looks like they have all of theirs at an angle and they only have one image. Oh no, there it is. Ooh, yeah. See them, you might not get a high resolution image from here. Ooh, and it's a PNG. Ooh, that's a PNG file. Okay, Louis Vuitton. Ooh, save image as. Ooh, I like it. Oh, it's a web file. Oh, okay. I was going to say, I'm like, wait a minute. That might not open up in Silhouette Studio. Let's just save it on my desktop. Oh, look. Let's see if it opens. It might not. I don't think Silhouette opens up that file type. But let's see. Oh no, see now it comes in with the, so it did open, but it opened with the white. But normally when it comes in like that, it means like it's transparent. But yeah, I wanted to make sure I have that up because I'm about to do this video of setting this up as a file for the handbags. All right, cool beans. So I'm about to do that. I'm going to come right back because I completely forgot to do it. So I'm going to come back. I wanted to show it with a different image other than the Coach one because some people were asking about different brands. Oh, you know what? And this is the back. So we're going to have to flip this horizontally so that the LV, because this is technically the back of the bag. Well, no, wait, where'd it go? Oh, here it is. So we'll have to technically flip it so that the LV shows the correct way. Oh, okay. Alrighty, but I will be back. All right. I need to show the vinyl and paper things I've done also. I mean, that was just like design stuff, but let's see. I'll do that real quick. Let's go to, is my Instagram open over here? I don't know if my Instagram is open. TikTok. I don't think I have my Instagram on here. So let's just go Instagram. And HSE prints. And so there is a selfie frame. I don't really post a lot. So a lot of you have to go through like my pictures on Facebook because I don't really post a lot. This is printable, Jet Pro 3G. This is all vinyl. So this is cut adhesive vinyl. I created this custom box for someone's birthday. So that's all vinyl and foam board. I make cheer signs with vinyl. This is vinyl. That's actually my brother. So I made him take a picture and then I made a silhouette. So that is actually, and someone took that. My brother saw a thing. He's like, yo, you got me on your shirt. She told him, what you mean? He was like, yo, that's me. He showed her a rich picture. So someone went and took a screenshot of mine and then because it's all black and they traced it and then they put it on their design. And my brother, it was somebody that was local and he realized, because I mean, hello, his body's very distinctive. And he saw somebody with the shirt, the girl with the shirt on, and he's like, that's me. And then he asked her, did she follow me or whatever? And he was like, yeah, I know her. He's like, that's my sister. He said, that is me. So that was kind of cool. So some printed stuff, charger plate inlays. This was a Snapchat. So if you don't know, you know how they have the 360 cameras and stuff, like those things, and they'll have like the overlay and stuff for it. You can create those too right in Silhouette Studio and save it as a PNG. That's vinyl. Ooh, this is a good one. So here's that. That's the design. And then this is the actual hoodie and pants. And then that's them in it. Those are their yard signs. Their cheer signs. HTV for bows. Fans. Cutouts. I produce cute babies. Cutouts. Created this whole design. I wrapped a bike in vinyl. That's not really silhouette stuff, but you know. This right here was done in silhouette, printed with my cameos to brand business vehicles. Let's see. Design in Silhouette Studio. Design in Silhouette Studio. It's basic, but you know. Design in Silhouette Studio. I'm going to keep saying, but actually there is some stuff that wasn't. This whole thing, the splash, the ball is layered and designed all in Silhouette Studio. This game, all. These big cutouts, all Silhouette Studio. All of the cutouts, even the towers. I set that design up. I said, like, for the files, like I created everything. I cut it from my Cameo, like on cardstock, and then I use that as my template to cut it from foam board. So even all of the buildings in the back was technically designed using Silhouette Studio to create templates, but all of the characters, the front part of the gable boxes, these centerpieces, these cutouts, this K, the design to make it look like Doc McStuffin, the pyramids, all of it. Set this up in Silhouette Studio, cut the template, made a whole bus out of foam board. There we go, those. Back when Shopkins used to make, I made a killing off of these, making the little thingies for all, like for the storage for the Shopkins, making custom ones like this, used to make a killing off of that. This designed and printed as print cuts. It's not real bread. That's all paper. That's paper. That part's paper. And then the fish, then I put it together. It looks like a real fish. It was for a play. All done from Silhouette Studio. So yeah, if you want to go over, go look at my Instagram. I don't post often, but you know, there's some stuff on there. There's some stuff on there. You can kind of get an idea. I'm trying to think where Silhouette stops. Use Silhouette to create the template, created all of these, did all of that stuff. My wedding invitation, Silhouette Studio. I'm trying to think where Silhouette stops. All of this, Silhouette Studio. Every last bit of it, from the big letters to this, to the labels and all that stuff. That big cutout in the back. It's my mommy and my Gotti. And my sissy. My niecey. All of the labels here. All of that. This whole centerpiece. And the number. And when you learn the program, you can create just like this, where you don't have to buy files. You can buy elements and then you put them together yourself to create whatever your clients need. And it becomes custom. These cutouts. So yeah. They need to see everything they can learn from you. Oh, thank you, Miss Cheryl. It's no longer live. It used to be live, but it's no longer live now. It's work at your own pace. It used to be shot live. It was 11 o'clock in the morning. My classes going forward, most of them will be daytime classes, but you'll always have access to the playbacks. All right. So let me hop off of here. Until next time, guys, have a great one. Continue to unlock your creativity. Be incredible. Peace.